going on, everybody? I am here today to show you how to manipulate all sorts of different releases. We're going to be going over index release, thumb release, and my ever favorite, a hinge. Stay tuned. Alright, so here we go. So this right here is a very basic index release. How that's going to work is it's going to attach to your wrist somehow, with whether it be leather like this one is, plastic, even in some cases vinyl, Velcro. Plenty of options for it. This is just a basic one that I have. So basically what I'm looking for though in executing a index release for a shot is I don't want to be punching the trigger, as a lot of people refer to it as. And I'll try to demonstrate that in a couple shots. But what I'm looking for is almost setting your finger like a hook and then just starting to apply pressure or tension. Basically feel like you're squeezing your shoulder blades together until you get that shot to break. You want a surprise shot every time. There are times where it could be beneficial to punch the trigger. Lots of controversy on that. So, anywho, watch how I do this, and we'll do it the wrong way. Alright, so starting off, we're going to hook under a D-loop, draw back, and we're going to get set, and we're just going to punch the trigger. See how I had to kind of force that follow through? It's not a natural movement in my opinion. So let's reset and I will show you how I would execute it. Alright, now I'm reset again, so let's show how I would like to do it. Look at that. Having very minimal pressure on that trigger. That's one way where you can do it, where a lot of people will just actually have their fingers off the release altogether. So that way there's no way to actually influence that shot. So all I'm doing is I'm just making like a hook with my finger. I'm just going to start applying pressure while pulling through, getting that natural follow through, letting that shot break, and getting that natural movement. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Alright, so here is the next one. This is a thumb button release. Basically taking the same concept as using that index release, but instead of using your index finger, we're going to use our thumb to activate it. So with that, it's going to be the same thing. I don't want to see people getting on there and just mashing it down. You're anticipating the shot too much, and you're going to have a good chance of actually throwing your shots off. So let's do that bad execution. Feels so weird to do, to be honest, because I don't try to do those shots. Let's reset and I'll show you a better way to hopefully execute that shot. Alright, we'll reset again. So like I said before, this is where I just want to see you getting your thumb on that button, almost making like a hook. Start applying that back pressure and just start slowly relaxing. Maybe try to relax your fingers a little bit and let it pull through until it actually breaks. So let's see what that does. That was a good surprise shot. Alright, next we're going to move to the hinge. Be right back. Alright, reset again. So here is the hinge release. This has no safety, no mechanism to fire it. All it does is it works on a half moon system with sears in there, and once it gets to a certain point, it'll actually come over that hump, and that's where it releases. Very popular release for a lot of target archers, or if you notice that you're having problems with target panic. I would recommend that a lot for guys that are having problems with target panic, especially even just a resistance release, is where you have to actually pull through until you break a certain aspect of that release, where actually that moon will let go and fire that way. That's a little bit more in depth of a release. I feel like this is much easier to use. You don't have to worry about anything changing with it for the most part. Anything could happen with any release. So with this one, it's going to be the same thing. I like to really dump my wrist down so that way it cannot fire, because all we're doing is we're using our index finger and our thumb to manipulate this trigger or this release to be safe as you're drawing back. You can make it colder or hotter as needed, and also a lot of these hinges have a click system into it as well. So some of them are adjustable. Some of you have to have a moon system that you have to actually replace, or the sear, so that way you can actually adjust how hot or cold that click is, or if you want to take it all together. So let's get into this one. So it's going to be kind of hard to dump this. You could technically do it. I'll try and execute that shot that way. It's going to be hard. It's going to be awkward. So bear with me. Yeah, like, it's just so hard to, I feel it's so hard to do that. I don't know if, I've never really had a terrible case of target panic that I can think of. If you have before, definitely let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you've done to overcome it. I feel like this would be a great tool. A hinge would be a great tool for somebody to try and dabble with into that aspect. This is all I personally use for hunting, target shooting, just general practice. That's all I prefer to use as a hinge. So let me reset and I'll show you how I manipulate my hinge. Okay, so we're back, reset again. For executing a hinge, my method of doing it, what I do is, you know, like I said previously, I like to dump my wrist down, make sure my wrist is locked down, so I make sure that that release cannot go off. If anything were to change on this system for the sensitivity of it, I'm making sure that it cannot go off. That is your safety right there. So once I am set, what I like to do is I want to feel like I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, and then from there I'm going to start relaxing my index finger while applying more pressure with my pinky finger, my ring finger, and my middle finger, pulling until that moon breaks over that sear. Okay? Hopefully you guys are understanding that. If you don't, just hit me up in the comments below. I will try to get more close-ups on how to hopefully see better execution. So without further ado, here we go. Voila. You almost get a surprise shot almost every time. If you ever watch a video of me shooting, a lot of times you'll see me blink. I don't really jerk or react. It's just you get that surprise. You're like, oh crap, it went off. So that, in my opinion, is the best way to make you the most accurate and successful hunter / shooter you can be. So, hopefully you guys had enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something from it. Look forward for future videos in the future, which I just said future twice. As always, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. Follow me along on this journey. Catch you in the next video.